Alright everyone, and welcome back to Wbel. So now we are in round 3 of the playoffs. It is the semi-final, and in the final 4 we have Alkor against MacRain, and in the Enthusiast division we have JB79 against Jesuslbl. Since it is the playoffs, it is still a best of 3. So both players will have to win 2 games in order to reach the grand finale. So the first series that we're going to cover tonight is from the blind division. So we'll have Alkor against MacRain. And after this, on the Enthusiast division, we have JB79 against Jesuslbl. And now that everything has been said, let's check those fights. Alright, so for our first series, we have Alkor against MacRain. But this week, since Chize wasn't available, we have a surprise guest shoutcaster with us. So we have MANTA, one of the participants that you saw during the whole tournament. So MANTA, how do you feel about recording for the first time?
You know, I gotta say, I'm hoping for some beginner's luck here. This is my first time shoutcasting, so a little nervous, not gonna lie, but I'm also very excited to be here. So thank you for welcoming me.
Thank you for accepting to do this instead of Chize.
Alright, I'm ready. This is exciting. Let's do this.
Alright, so on Alkor's side we have Raph, Lucia, and Ryu. On MacRain's side we have Mariel, Stern, and Whisper. So this is first for MacRain using this team, so let's check that out.
You know, I gotta say, just looking at this match from high level, 3 tanks right now is a really interesting play. You've got some gunner units on Alkor's side, which I think is a really smart play on this map. And then MacRain's got Wing Stern. I think this battle is going to turn into which tank survives and soaks up the damage, and can the gunners get through MacRain's tanks in time to get to Wing Stern. So here we have Keen Blade followed by Oceanic Protection. The unit attack resist up there is a pretty key play against the gunners here. And now we've got 2 hastes coming out from Alkor's side, which I think is a pretty smart play to, you know, get the speed up and get some AP build in here. Wing Stern casting re-raise. It's really going to help with his survivability. And there's the Undying Wall from Raph, which we know also brings out re-raise. Divine Shelter from Whisper coming out. She's got some buffs online.
I really like the first Oceanic Protection coming from Mariel. It tells that MacRain was prepping for pairing. Alright, so now we have first damage coming from Mariel. So we have Lucia after this, so a sharpshoot, not much damage on that Mariel, so it's pretty nice for MacRain. Now we have Ryu, Armbuster, so no disable, but that Mariel is nearly down. Next we have Raph, Witch Strike, not able to kill that Mariel, so she's already doing a great job. So now we have Winged Stern, 100 edge, so re-raise removed, pretty big. So next we have Lucia. Will she be able to kill? Yes! So she's able to kill that Mariel and doing a lot of damage on that Whisper. She's pretty good to tank a missile usually. And Ryu, not able to kill her. Okay, so the double tank strategy is pretty great right now for MacRain. Now we have White Wave, so the new upgraded LB from Whisper. Okay, so that's really not a lot of damage. Next we have Wing Stern. Will he be able to hit them all? Convergence. Oh, so killing that Ryu.
Man. Huge damage. Oh, and there's the turn of the fight right there.
Yes.
That might be a death sentence for Alkor here, but
double evasion.
He's got the momentum on. Oh, and there goes the momentum.
Yes. So Lucia, so killing, I think, single target attack on that Whisper, so killing her. And like you saw, Stern is not armed, so he was able to dodge both strikes from that Raph. And now we have his LB, so it also will also give him ace. So let's see if he'll be able to kill them both. Not enough to kill that Lucia, so she's still standing, but if she's not landing a disable, I think it's done.
And she's out of AP. This one's done.
Oh, okay. So that was. Okay.
Oh,
what happened? Oh, he
both
doesn't have
AP.
the AP too. Okay, so one last chance. Oh no, she went for sharpshoot, but it was still a lot of damage, and she wasn't able to lap him. And no reflex. That was a pretty bold from MacRain for using his light team for the first time, but it was a pretty great call because he was able to tank Alkor's team. the double tank strategy was really great.
Yeah, I think you called it pretty well there with the oceanic protection. Thinking the Perrine was coming after him. I mean, we've seen the type of work that Alkor's Perrine has been doing all season, and it was, the tanks I think did their job. I was wondering there for a second when that slow landed, like that could be it, but that damage that Wing Stern put out was just unmatched. He hit the damage cap, and down goes Ryu.
The thing is that it was kind of pretty risky for MacRain too, because all his units were pretty close together, and Perrine, she's well known for her big AoEs, so I think that I've been in range, she would have been able to hit Stern in the process. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough call there. I mean, Marielle also is stacking the unit protection there just in case she went for one of her single hits, but the tanks did their job, and in the end, Wing Stern does what he does, and that's he kills very effectively.
Yes. So what can we expect for our next fight?
I don't know. I think we're gonna see a fist team this time from Alkor, and on MacRain's side, his Sottily tank, I'm expecting to see at some point too. But I also think if he brings out the Pissarro, that the evasion might be a good route to go as well. So.
That will be rough. So Perrine against Pissarro.
Better hope for some evades.
Alright, let's check if you're right. Okay, so you weren't exactly right. So on Alkor's side we have Mish, Machery, and Perrine, and on MacRain's side we have the same light team, plus Whisper of course. So let's see how it goes.
Well, it looks like MacRain's hanging back, same positioning as the first match, and it looks like a pretty similar positioning from Alkor too. Units are spread out a bit, and pretty bold move putting Mish out there on an island, but as someone who ran Mish myself this season, we've seen the type of damage he can do. The only thing I'm a little worried about is Marielle's a pretty darn good magic tank, so we'll see what happens there, but I'm wondering, Bowtie here? Whisper taking that lower route, and Marielle. Interesting.
Oh, so he went for the bow attack. That's kind of odd. Alright, so we have re-raise on Wing and Stern. So next we have Whisper. He'd be in range, of course. Protection break. Nearly killing that Mish. So that Marielle will have to waste the AP on him. So we have Vanishka killing him, of course. It didn't do much.
I do like this play though, because like you said, we've got some wasted AP, we've got some wasted turns, and we've got all three of MacRain's units on the lower part of the map. Now, Perrine is a pretty low range height unit, so she's going to have to come down there to hit him.
Oh, but Stern went on top, so it's pretty big for MacRain, because he have what he wanted. So we have the two tanks at the bottom. It will drag his two carry at the bottom, but Stern will be able to just kill him on top. So Banishga, really the low damage on that Perrine, but it was expected. So next Perrine, is she in range? Yes, Vortex Kick, nearly killing them both. So next we have Stern. What kind of level of damage can he do? Okay, so really not much on that Perrine. So oof. It's not.
That's one tanky Perrine.
Yes. Oh, but she.
And then we're almost back to full health.
I think that the Whisper did more damage on that Perrine than Stern did.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it.
Yeah, it was about 2k and 3k for that Whisper. Now Whisper's dead, only Marielle standing. Okay, so now it's the big turn for Stern. If he doesn't do enough damage now, I think that it's done. So his LB, what is it going to be? Only 3k unfortunately, but he has ace. If he's able to chain with himself, maybe he has a chance.
Yeah, I think this haste is going to be a pretty big deciding factor in this match. But you also have Machery hanging back, and I don't think Stern can hit both of them at the same time. And as we've seen how tanky this Perrine is, she's soaking up damage this whole match. I think as long as Machery's in range here, which she is, and she lands the disable.
Oh, that was a big one. I mean, it didn't add much chance, but since he have reflex, like maybe, but now it's done. Oh man, it was a really big switch up from Alkor. That team is pretty scary.
I mean, he does have re-raise here, but it does look like Perrine is going next. Oh, yeah. CT up.
Oh yeah, true. So is he able to hit them both? Yes, 100 edges. Oh, even the matchery too bulky for him. So, oh, but we have
and
one
reflex.
So
and he's going again.
I count him out really too soon, too often.
Hey, you could see a reflex again here. You never know.
And we have matchery next. Another reflex maybe. Seems
That
not.
looks like it's it.
All right.
Well, I gotta say, we had a battle of the heavyweights there, Perrine versus Wing Stern, and we saw how much damage and really how top tier units both of them are. But Alkor pulled off the equalizer there, and we're tied at 1-1.
Yeah, Alkor didn't even needed the tank because both of his units were so bulky against slash physical.
You know, I think it's time we do see the Sodali, but you know, from Alkor's side, I'd say this team worked pretty well, did exactly as intended. I would run it back.
All right, so let's see if you were right. Okay, so you were completely right. So we have Satellite, but Lightning and Apsaro. And on the Alkor side, we have the same team. So Mish, Queen Mashery, and Perrine. So perfect, let's check this out.
Well, I think this is going to be an interesting match because we know how much space Zazan can cover. And then Lightning with her follow-up is going to be tough to deal with. I mean, we've seen how much damage these follow-ups can do all season. And if she gets hers online, she's pretty deadly. So I think Perrine's got a bad matchup here, but Mashery has a great matchup, so this is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, there's no elemental advantage on either side. There's an equalizer. Alright, so Mish is going to be in range. So what is he going to... Okay, so we Abyssal Mire doing a lot of damage on that. Okay, not a lot, but still plenty coming from Mish. But we have now Zazan going forward. I think that he has both eyes, so let's see. So now both Sadali and Lightning have re-raise. So next is Queen Mashery. Is she in range or is she only casting a re-raise? I think it's re-raise. So Lightning... Oh, not able to kill that Mish.
Sliver of health.
So Raging Waters.
Well, this might be 2 matches in a row where Mish does his job as the game's best tank.
Alright, so we have Zazan killing off that Mish. Alright, so he's out of the way. Now we have Sadali. Not in range for an attack, so physical shield. So this is Black Robe Elena's DMR. Alright, so now we have Lightning, Life Siphon, not much damage on those two. So next we have Queen Mashery.
It's gonna be a big turn right here if she can hit all 3 of them.
Oh yeah, it's true. So probably killing that Lightning right there, because that LB hurts. And Zazan lives.
Oh, but she does have re-raise.
Re-raise, yes. But next
Perrine is going next. She's got a double kill set up for her here.
Okay, so we have Sadali against the world. Maybe if he can do his LB, Charm will be very great for MacRain. So let's see.
Looks like he's going for the AoE here.
Oh, but he's able to kill Mashery, but she has re-raised though. Okay, so it's pretty tight, but Mashery can go first, and Sadali is already is not full left. So let's see. Glimmer of Commission. Okay, so doing 4K, it's really big. Subjugating Fist, but he still has
his re-raise here.
So this is this is the time.
This is it. Yeah. This is the turn.
Oh!
Oh my! Of all the ways for that to end, the reaction smack was not what I expected.
Oh, but I wanted to know.
You know, I think watching that match, one of the biggest keys there was Mish hanging on with that sliver of health, and it didn't give Zazan any chance to do any of his shenanigans because he just went in for the easy kill there.
Yeah.
None of his charm shenanigans or anything. I think that was probably the key of the match.
Yeah, I think so too. But at the same time, I really wanted to know if that counter won in the game. I don't know if he had enough damage to kill that Perrine.
Yeah, we saw how much damage she was soaking up. I mean, I don't think she's great against magic, but that still would have been a tough matchup for Sadali 1-on-2 there.
All right, that was a pretty close series, pretty exciting to see. But now we have our finalists for the blind division in Alkor. A really impressive performance. I mean, I've never ever been able to beat MacRain, and you did it in the semi-final. It's a pretty big exploit in my opinion.
And if I'm not mistaken, even in the regular season, I think their match ended up PR3 versus Jesuslbl. So, pretty poetic, I would say, for a pretty similar matchup to end the semifinals here.
Yes, and it ended the same way, PR3 winning.
So well, I would say congrats to both players, and congrats to Alkor for representing the blind division in the finals.
Yeah, I'm pretty glad to see Alkor going into the finals. He's my guildie, so of course I was kind of rooting for him. So yeah, congratulations to him. I'm really happy to see you there, man.
It's okay, you're allowed to be a little biased.
I am totally. Alright, perfect. So let's jump into the next series. Alright, so series number 2. So the semi-final on the Enthusiast division. So we have JB79 against Jesuslbl. On JB's side, we have Murmur, Wbel, and Ice Jaden. On Jesus' side, we have Bards, Warrior of Light, and Uni. So let's check this out.
Alright, here we have a rematch of the same formations that JB and Jesus ran against each other in the regular season. And, I mean, these are both really smart plays. On JB's side, you've got the Ice Jaden with the 10,000 physical shield. And then on Jesus' side, you know, you've got his tried and true comp. We've seen how much damage it can do. We've seen how successful it is. And if I'm him, I'm thinking, I'm not going to fix what isn't broken. And I'm just going to run the same team I've been running and having so much success with all year. I think what's really interesting about this team is how fast the Warrior of Light is. I mean, yes. Getting that Keen Blade in so early is key here. And here comes Bards' follow-up.
So fast cast on Murmur. Next we have Warrior of Light, so self-buff. Ice Jaden not in range to attack. So next we have Wbel, which is able to hit, no, so not in range also, but the courage buff is really welcome. Next we have Uni, the follow-up, so Arrowfall. Alright, so Bards wasn't in range, so the follow-up couldn't proc from Bards. So now we have a fast cast from Murmur. Bards coming next. So Blade Split able to hit them all, so nearly killing that Wbel. Yes. Unhappy ending. Okay, so not much damage on both. Ran of the events. Oh, but it is an evasion team.
Wow.
Oh, that was really big. So we have the LB coming from Warrior of Light, so a triple hit, Crystal Braver. So let's see. Oh, on that Murmur. Okay, so that was kind of funny. Next we have Uni, only the 19 AP, but enough to do an Arrowfall. And enough to kill that Wbel. So next we have Jaden, so is LB again. I don't remember what it does, unfortunately.
You know, I don't
and
either,
missing them all again.
I'm really surprised by this evasion right here. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen an evasion Warrior of Light before, but however Jesus has got him built, it's working pretty well.
Yes.
And at this point, Jaden's off his shield, so this is,
it's looking pretty grim for GB, yeah. Because unless he starts using his guaranteed hit buff. So the follow-up pretty massive. And again, unhappy ending on the Warrior of Light, none of damage, and I think that Bards will be able to finish it. Yeah, so yes. Oh, wow. Okay. Really smart play coming from Jesus with the evasion route. Of course, it was absolutely unexpected from GB's side. He ran the same team, probably was confident enough that his shield would be able to absorb most of the damage. But probably that Jesus, when he watched the last match they had, he thought that, okay, maybe there's something there with evasion.
Yeah, I think both players made some pretty good adjustments there, but I gotta say, I don't think I've ever seen an evasion tank Warrior of Light that can not only dodge your hits but soak up that much damage. I mean, he's weak to pierce, and we still saw him soak that damage up. When it comes to Jesus there, that was a great adjustment from the regular season match. I don't know what more to say.
Yeah, that felt so unfair because he had the defense, he had the damage, and he had evasion. So what would you see like adjustment-wise?
I mean, I think from JB's side here, I'd probably run the Marielle out front with a bow tie, and then maybe the Charisse and Summer Jaden team, because Summer Jaden's got range, you've got wind synergy, and we just saw from that match that Uni was kind of away from Bartz, and he didn't really get in range for the follow-up until kind of later in the match. So if I'm JB, I think that's the route I'm going. Split the wind units up from Muriel and let her tank damage like she's supposed to.
Yeah, interesting. Let's see if you're right. Okay, so you were right. On GB's side, so it's the change that you mentioned, but with Cherries. So we have Marielle, Cherries, and Summer Jaden. On the Jesus side, we have another switch up. So we have Sephiroth, Murmur, and Whisper. So pretty interesting. So let's check this out.
I think we've seen this squad come out from Jesus one time earlier in the season. It's been a while since we've seen it. And I gotta say, I'm a little surprised he's switching it up here. We saw what just happened with his main team. I would have just run it back personally, but Murmur here, she's got a bit of a disadvantage coming against these wind units, but if Whisper can, get out there, break away from Sephiroth, we know what he's capable of doing. And you've got dark synergy between the two of them, so I think we've got an interesting match in the making here.
Oh, but Summer Jaden going in front, it's not really looking good for him though. But I think that Sephiroth is far enough, and Marielle had time to go forward. So Divine Shelter coming from Whisper, so she didn't have the range. Momentum coming from Sephiroth. And next we have Murmur. She will be in range to do an attack, probably Flare. So the LB coming from Cherries. Let's see the amount of damage. So we have, oh wow, so 8k on that Murmur, yes.
and the
next
big
we
thing
have
there
the
is
follow-up.
all the buffs are dispelled. So I think that's pretty huge to get all those buffs off the tanks. Well, the tank and the red mage there. And that was a quick turnaround from JB's side. But hey, never count Sephiroth out.
Yes, of course, and he's also aced, so it's pretty big. And not much damage on that Marielle, but it was expected. So Marielle, Chicken Blade, and Bravery down, which is also really big because now you do less damage. Triple Flight coming from Cherries, and now we have Summer Jaden probably to finish him off. So let's see the amount of damage. We didn't see the ability, but it doesn't matter because GB has one hit, and it was a pretty one-sided. It was really a great adjustment coming from GB.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that was the team that, like I said, I expected to see that team, but I didn't expect an adjustment from Jesus. If I'm both players in the next round, I think I'm running. If I'm JB, I'm going to run the same team, and if I'm Jesus, I'm going to switch back to the Bartz and Unicomp and see what happens.
Yeah, it's a pretty stressful place when there's 1-1. I'm putting myself in GB's shoes right now. Like, you've won game number 2. You know that your opponent is going to be prepared for it, and you're like, oh man, I so want to run that successful team, but of course you have time to prepare and you'll know in advance. So I mean, he's not going to run a team that's going to lose against the team that just won. So in my case, I run the same team and I've lost. So let's see if it's going to be better for him. So let's check out your predictions. Oh, so we have a redo of match number one.
I have a feeling here that JB is going to have made some adjustments. I think he's going to be stacking accuracy this time, and I think we might see a different outcome here. But it looks like Jesus may have already also made adjustments, and if Uni can stay with the Bartz this time, and he can just get his follow-ups through more frequently, he might be able to eat through that shield quicker. And, we may have a similar outcome, or we might not.
Yeah, I think that the initial positioning was less aggressive coming from Jesus. And also, they're not starting one in front of another, so it's really big for Jesus, unfortunately for GB.
True. If I'm JB too, I think another thing I'm thinking of here is unit resist.
Yes.
I mean, Murmur's already got hers online. Urel's got the courage online. Urel's now also got the unit resist and the haste online. the shield's online for Jaden. I mean, he's in a good spot to clear this gap right here, survive the follow-ups, and once Bartz uses 3, he's got to recast the buff, so I think he's in a good spot here.
Yes, GB is pretty close now to Jesus' team, so the follow-up has been soaked by the physical shield, so it's really great. Render the events, not much damage on that Warrior of Light, unfortunately, so Impalave Wave. A little bit more, but it was instantly recovered. Next we have Bartz. Oh, Blitz Blit and Courage Removal. Oh, that's really big, unfortunately, for GB. And now we have Murmur that's staying in the back, applying a fast cast again to herself. It won't help at all. So we have a Warrior of Light, no damage on that Jaden. Next we have Uni. We should be able... Yes, there's been damage. Oh, so the shield
is gone.
Yes. And he's going for the Warrior of Light. Unfortunately for GB, I think that it's done.
Yeah, this isn't looking good right now, but...
Bart's going next.
Yeah, it's a tough one here.
And he doesn't have...
No shield anymore, and yeah, it's still mind-boggling how much damage that Bartz can do.
Yeah. Like I said in the the first match, he has defense, he has attack, and he has evasion now, so... probably that knowing that GB will prepare for accuracy, maybe that he shut down the evasion route only to focus on bulk and attack, but like, what can you do against this?
I mean, again, we've said it a few times now, but both teams made some really good adjustments there, and the comp that we've seen, I think, do the most work all season, in the end came out on top.
Do you think that it would have been better if GB will have came back with his second team?
I think it may have been a different outcome. One of the big things there, I think that makes Charisse a little bit underrated, at least for, a cost limit like this, is her LB removes all buffs from the targets. And we saw what it did in that last fight. Also, as a Charisse enjoyer myself, I love running her. That's just me personally. But so I guess I'm a little biased this round. But, I would have loved to have seen that team run against the Union Bartz combo and see what happened. But, each player went back to their first lineup there, and I still think it was a smart play on both sides. And like I said, we've seen the Uni, Bartz, and Warrior of Light combo do exactly what they've done all season.
Yeah, that Warrior of Light is pretty problematic. Like, if you don't apply a massive healing down on him, it's like if you're hitting an enemy with 30k HP. It's crazy. You really got to get rid of him fast, but it's too difficult.
Yeah, he's a raid boss. I mean, you saw that heal there. 17,000 HP. One heal. It's crazy.
All right, so we now have the 2 finalists that will make it for the grand finale live stream. So on the 30th of December, we'll have Alkor against Jesuslbl for the grand finale. So it's been a great series. It was it was pretty close, I think, even if the third match was kind of one-sided. But we still had a 3-match series. Great adjustment on both sides. I think that it was, of course, a matter of initial positioning. I think maybe if they were face-to-face, it would have been on the GB side. But like, we'll never know. So congratulations to Jesus and GG to GB79.
Congrats to both players, and good luck to both Jesus and Alkor in the finals. Really looking forward to the live stream, and really looking forward to both these players facing off.
Yes, absolutely. Alright, so we're near the conclusions of this tournament. So the final series will be the grand finale between Alkor and Jesuslbl. So Alkor that will represent the blind division, and Jesus will represent the enthusiast division. So the next match is going to be held on the 30th of December, and it will be a live stream event. So each players will have 10 minutes between each fight to prepare, and in between, during the intermission, we'll have a special guest that will be announced very shortly. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a lot of fun, And you guys watching this right now, you have some homework to do, because we'll make an announcement in the Discord server, and you'll have to share it to your guild and to your community. So please invite the most people you can. So like I said, it's going to be on the 30th of December at 7 p.m. on global time. So follow us on Discord, follow us on the YouTube, and you'll be notified when the tournament is going to begin. I really hope that we're going to see you in great number. We really hope that you're going to enjoy this as much as we did during all season long. I hope that we'll have a great final series between two amazing players. And let's see if Alkor will be able to crack up that Bard's Uni and Warrior of Light formation. Alright, so I'm really excited for the grand finale. We will have some quality guest speakers, and I can't wait to see you soon. So please have great holidays meanwhile, stay safe, and see you during the live stream.